is able to use it to save 3 lives. That could be 18 lives each year. Think about it. Western Kentucky Regional Blood Center, 1902 South Virginia Street, Hopkinsville. Visit WKRBC.org for times of operation.
We invite you to join us each Sunday morning beginning at 6 and lasting till 1 for uplifting messages from several of our area churches. We may not be able to gather together, but we can share positive and encouraging words during these challenging days. Make plans to come together with us by radio on 1580 103.3 WPKY. You can even listen from our free app or at WPKYonline.com.
WPKY, YourSportsEdge.com, and Edge Media Group proudly offer Tiger Tales, a 2020 look back at the 2020 football season.
I'm so excited.
Stop by any of these locations for your free copy. Goodwin Insurance Agency, Caldwell County Home Health, Farless Realty, Lake Barkley CrossFit, and Adams Breezy Hill Farm.
Keep up the good work.
If you're a Caldwell County football fan,
I'm a new fan.
you'll love this collector's edition full of full-colored pictures, stats, and more. And the best part, it's absolutely free.
You are so great. Thank you.
Thanks to these additional community supporters, Caldwell County elected officials, McDonald's of Princeton, Caldwell Medical Center, and C3 Electric.
Thank you.
Caldwell County's Tiger Tales. Pick one up today from YourSportsEdge.com.
Oh my God.
And 1580.
WPKY. WPKY.
103.3
WPKY.
WPKY.
Happy 2021 from Pennyrile Electric. It's time to usher in the new and update your account information. By updating your information, you ensure that Pennyrile Electric can provide the very best in customer service. Plus, if you do so before February 28th, you'll automatically be eligible to win $100 in cash or $50 in bill credits. Update your information right now at precc.com or stop by any of our area locations. Best wishes in the new year from Pennyrile Electric.
KFC Princeton invites you to come in and enjoy a meal. Or, of course, the drive-thru is always open. The restaurant is open with limited capacity. You'll find that posted on the front door. And all tables are set up for social distancing. You are encouraged to wear your mask when entering and exiting the business. There is no buffet at this time. All dine-in orders are packaged as if they are to-go orders. Enjoy your favorite meal at KFC on the Marion Road in Princeton. Dine in, carry out, or drive-thru. They are here to serve you.
Caldwell County is a special place in Western Kentucky, featuring beautiful tracts of land. Even though the real estate market is always in a constant state of change, Bollinger Real Estate and Auction understands this and is ready to work for you.
Hi, my name is Ben Bollinger with Bollinger Real Estate and Auction. Whether it's a property valuation or time to sell, Bollinger's team is dedicated to work for you. Real estate solutions with a passion for people.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff McDaniels with Farmers Bank, your home for the Tiger debit card. Our team wants to wish both the Lady Tigers and Tigers good luck this sports season. So help us support Caldwell's future athletes by getting your Tiger card today. Only at Farmers Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC.
It's all at your fingertips now at WPKYonline.com. Local video, local news, local sports, local weather information, and of course, contests. Plus, you can listen to us on your smart device. Just click the Listen Now button. We've made it easier to find your favorite information. WPKYonline.com.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
And good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. Good Thursday morning, and welcome to the Sideline Report, a busy show lined up for you today, and we'll probably be talking a lot of high school basketball action. Coming up a little bit later on, Aaron Clayton, who is the voice of the Lyon County Lions and Lady Lions for WCCK Radio, will be joining us. Also got Scott Brown on the show this morning from YourSportsEdge.com and WKDZ Radio. Scott is the radio voice of the Trigg County Wildcats and Lady Wildcats, and that's important because tonight, Caldwell County and Trigg County will hook up in basketball action, both in Cadiz and in Princeton. Over in Cadiz, the boys teams will play. That game is set for about 7:30 varsity action. It's senior night for the Trigg County Wildcats tonight, so Caldwell County's guys will be going to Trigg County. Meanwhile, out at the Cab Gym, the Lady Tigers will host the Lady Wildcats, and we'll have all that coverage right here on WPKY tonight. You can watch the live video stream for free at WPKYonline.com. And yes, if you have an original schedule, tonight's date is shown as a girls and boys doubleheader at Trigg County, but they have split those now. The girls will be playing here in Princeton. The guys will be playing over in Cadiz tonight, so you'll need to listen to WPKY for the Caldwell County girls and Trigg County, and WKDZ will have the broadcast of the Trigg County boys and the Caldwell County Tigers tonight from Wildcat Gym in Cadiz. Going to get to a break here on the show, but we'll be back with Scott Brown of your Sports Edge and WKDZ Radio right after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Did you know 7 out of 10 people overspent during the holidays and are now worried about recovering from this?
If you're one of the 7, don't worry, we can help at ABC Finance.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you recover from the holidays with easy payments you can afford.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
Apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
You can even give us a call, and we will take your application over the phone.
To view social distancing guidelines and safety measures, like and follow ABC Finance Company on Facebook. ABC Finance is located off Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville next to O'Charlie's, and in Princeton in the Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance, all loans subject to normal credit approval.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's Hypnosis Seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again, my blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Stop smoking and lose weight without cravings, irritability, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Join Mark Patrick's Hypnosis Seminars and lose the weight, stop smoking, or end anxiety for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Seminars now online January 21st or Saturday, January 23rd for the Hopkinsville area. Details at markpatrickseminars.com. markpatrickseminars.com. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
The Great Wall Chinese Restaurant in Princeton is open for inside dining. Stop in and enjoy a delicious, authentic Chinese buffet every day for lunch and dinner. You can also order for carryouts. They are open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They are closed on Mondays. The Great Wall Chinese Restaurant is located at 420 U.S. Highway 62 in Princeton and is now open for inside dining so you can enjoy their delicious buffet. Or call in your pickup orders to 270-365-9920.
Back on the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Again, thanks for tuning in this morning. Joining us on the show to start the day will be Scott Brown of your Sports Edge and WKDZ Radio. And Scott, a big doubleheader at different sites tonight with Caldwell County and Trigg County.
Yeah, split doubleheader. Back in the day, the split doubleheader was, the girls would play at Trigg's girls would play at Caldwell on a Thursday, and the boys would play at Caldwell on a Friday. And you kind of scratch your head and wonder, why don't they just play on the same night? And a lot of that was due to Title IX. You gotta even out the prime dates and times. But split doubleheader, one at one place and one at the other. And of course, we know why that is, because of COVID-19. And I understand the logic behind it. It makes it tough on us to broadcast or the media to cover, but you want to get as many people that are attached to one team in the gym as possible. And on a doubleheader night, you may have 100 fans in there to watch the girls' game, and then they may want to stick around and watch the boys' game. And so that limits how many boys fans you can let into the gym. So I get it, I understand it, and hopefully it's a one-year thing only, and then get back to next year. We get back to the boy-girl doubleheaders.
Well, on the plus side tonight, though, we do have everybody covered with WPKY doing the girls' game and WKDZ handling the boys' game tonight.
That's true, and so right, and so you can people can download the free app and listen on their phone. You can be in one gym and listen to the other, or you can if you choose to go the web browser route, you can go to the website and listen that way. So that's good. Of course, PKY is going to have a video stream of the girls' game as well, which should be an interesting ball game in itself. And so, you're covered, whether it's on WPKY 103.3 or the Caldwell County game on 100.9 FM.
Yeah, the great thing, since the last time, I think you were on here last month, we actually have ball games to cover now.
Yes. Not as many as we probably would at a normal time, because a couple of schools are in protocol, and in Christian County's case, they're still in protocol. I haven't even played a game yet, but so far so good. And again, hats off to the athletic directors and the coaches for the work that they've put in to go by the protocols and do everything that they're supposed to do to try and get these games off. I've always said an athletic director doesn't earn their money in a regular year. They definitely haven't earned it in a COVID-19 year.
Well, and you can tell the difference when you're in the gym. Even the All-A Classic last week, typically in that championship game, when the buzzer sounds and one team wins, there's an eruption of noise and celebration. And when gyms only have 15% capacity, you just don't get the same atmosphere.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think the whole thing is subdued. I think everything is subdued. If you remember, and we made this comment during soccer season, there seemed to be a lot fewer yellow cards given out in soccer this past year for behavior, and I think that people are mentally fatigued, and so they're not coming to the gym with as much energy as they maybe. I'm not saying it's a funeral visitation, but I'm just saying I just think people are mentally fatigued, and they want to go and they want to watch the game, and then they just want to go back home. I mean, they're going to cheer and they're going to do their thing, but there is no electric atmosphere. I have not been to a basketball game yet with an electric atmosphere to it.
Yeah, and it's just difficult when there aren't that many people in the gym, and even after the gym, they announce for people to go ahead and leave, and there's not the milling around afterward and everybody meeting and talking. So, like I said, it's just a different experience this year going to basketball games.
It is, and again, understandable why. And if we're going to pick something to bag on, at least it's that, and the fact we're getting to play. Illinois is just now getting to where they could practice and get their fall sports playing, and then a little bit later on it'll be basketball. So I think Kentucky has done things the right way. It's not maybe, the most convenient way, but I think they've done it the right way. And at the end of the day, we are playing basketball, and we are, we played football, and we played volleyball and soccer. And I mean, there are other states that have yet to even have a fall season yet. So you just kind of have to look at the glass half full and wait for the day when the glass is totally full.
Well, and you mentioned it, some places are still having some trouble with COVID as far as getting their schedules going, and I think that's just something we're going to see through winter sports and spring sports, and maybe still affecting teams next fall.
Well, I spoke with a coach in the past week, and I'm not going to say who it was, but I spoke with a coach who brought up a very good point, and I never thought of this. But he made the comment that he really hopes that this doesn't become a normal in terms of the quarantine. In other words, if you have a kid who tests positive for strep, he's got to stay out 14 days and get a negative strep test before he can return. And if you have a kid with the flu, or a kid with a sore throat, they've got to go into quarantine. They got to go into isolation for 14 days. And if your team, he's afraid that the mindset of the quarantine and the isolation will go from COVID to other things that we've always played with and have always never been a problem. Whether it's, the flu, or whether it's strep throat, or whether it's, a kid with the sniffles. Now he's got to go, into quarantine and go get a test to make sure he doesn't have strep or the flu or whatever. And, I never thought of that, but I think there's a little mumbling that that could become the norm. And I sure hope it's not.
Well, and everybody has to.
I can't count how many games I've had to do with a sore throat or
right.
feeling well, and there have been times where I've told a coach, "Hey, we're not going to do a post game show because I'm coughing up a lung here." But I mean, and I know coaches have been felt bad, and I really hope that doesn't become the norm.
Well, and we all kind of have to, just really pay attention to the schedule because it is going to change from time to time. I mean, you look at tonight's games. This was a doubleheader at Trigg County, and now it's a split twin bill, basically.
Yeah, when it comes to schedule, your head better be on a swivel because, I mean, it could change. Asked UHA the other night. UHA was boarding the bus to go to South Warren, and they got the call as they were boarding the bus from the Hopkins County Health Department that, hey, there's a positive test on the Madisonville team. You played Madisonville Friday. You need to go home and quarantine for 10 days because you were exposed. And so, I mean, they were literally boarding the bus. And, I've seen where colleges have been going somewhere en route and have had to stop and turn the bus around and go back home because their game was canceled. So you just have to pay attention. And again, like I said, I heap praise on the athletic directors. They have done a fantastic job and just trying to not only deal with the scheduling of that game, but then try to get it rescheduled, try to shoehorn it into the rest of the schedule.
We're talking this morning with Scott Brown of YourSportsEdge.com and WKDZ Radio. Like we said, it's Caldwell County, Trigg County night for basketball. And, Scott, what can we expect from the Trigg County teams tonight?
Well, the Lady Wildcats are kind of up and down right now. They are notoriously slow starters, and that's not good when they are coming to a gym that they have not won at since George Herbert Walker Bush was the president. You have to go back to 1990, the last time that Trigg's girls have won in the CAP. In fact, they've only won 2 games against Caldwell County in that building. They won more games against Caldwell in the Butler gym than they have in that gym there. So, of course, they aren't really cognizant of that because they're not that old. Just old people like me who know that, are the ones that kind of make a deal of that. But they're going to want to press. They're going to want to try and, get out and transition. Corey Coble's got a little deeper bench than he's had in the past, and so that's allowing him to use his press. Foul trouble's kind of been an issue. When you press a lot, you're going to foul a lot, and so he's got to keep his, the right people on the floor. But, they started slow against Todd County, and the opener couldn't recover and lost by 4, a game that they should have won. And they'll tell you that. Of course, they turned the ball over 36 times. It was a typical season opener. And then the other night against UHA, they struggled a bit in the first quarter, but they were able to put it together and hold UHA to 6 second-half points. But when their press is going and the press is good, they're a pretty fun team to watch. But it's basically come down to how well can they take care of the basketball and can they hit free throws. And if Trigg's girls can do a decent job at both of those categories, then I think it's going to be a pretty fun game to watch.
Yeah, that should be interesting because Caldwell typically wants to try to press and force the tempo as well. However, point guard Maja Hollowell hurt her ankle the other night. Not sure about her status tonight, so that could be a big deal for that game, her availability for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, it could be. And in my opinion, she'd be a little bit of a matchup problem for Trigg County as well because of her size. And so, you may see Trigg stay in the press a little longer because of that. But it just comes down to whether it's working. And so far, I mean, they were able to press a good Callaway County team pretty effectively. And then I think they kind of ran out of gas, and Callaway had a seventh grader come in and knock down 3 3-pointers that were really big. I think and Ellie Carson is one of the top guards in the first region. They made it a point to get her the ball and her attack the basket, and that was the difference of the game. That was a senior type leadership game, but. It should be a fun one. It usually in recent years, now Caldwell just dominated the series from the early '90s until about the last 4 or 5 years. The series has been a lot more competitive in the last 4 years or so, but Trigg still has had a problem trying to win at Caldwell.
Yeah, Trigg took 2 of 3 last season. Earlier this season, Caldwell was having some trouble scoring, only had 26 points in the opener, but this week in 2 wins, 61 points and 70 points. So kind of seems like they're starting to figure a few things out.
Well, I think that's the product of not having scrimmages. Normally you get 2 preseason scrimmages. You get a chance to see your team against somebody else and see what works and what doesn't and what combinations work and whatever. Coach told me that he's using his first 2 weeks of the season as scrimmages, and so I think Caldwell, that was basically, unfortunately for them, it's a scrimmage that counts in the win-loss column, but, you use that to see what works, and you think, your team does a lot of good when you're going up against your JV, but when you go against another team's varsity, all of a sudden, hey, this ain't working, we may need to try something else, and so I really think that, the first 2 weeks of the season you use as an evaluation process, and then, fortunately for Caldwell County, there's no district games in that time, so you can use that to kind of see where your team's at, what's working and what's not, and then use that as you get into district play. That's a good thing with Trigg County. Their first district game isn't until next week, and so they're going to go 2.5 weeks into the season before they play a district game, and they've got that time to try and work a few kinks out.
You've got the boys tonight over in Cadiz, and it looks to me like the Tigers and Wildcats, even though it's early in the season, both teams kind of in need of a win just from a confidence standpoint.
I think so. Trigg County's problem is scoring, and it's not just a problem this year. I'm baffled at Trigg's inability to score, and it really is kind of like watching the University of Kentucky play. You got all of this talent, and yet you're scoring 57, 55 points a ball game, and you can't win in the second region scoring under 60 points a game. You can in the first region, but you can't in the second. I mean, you have to go back probably to Union County, maybe. As a team that was, under Dr. Hines, that was a deliberate team, in, out, work the ball. I mean, in these times, you've got to be able to put points on the board, and that's the big problem for Trigg County right now. They're 1-3, and they've scored over 60 points in one game, and that was against Marshall County, who didn't have Zion Harmon that night. Coming off a loss to Hopkinsville, lost 71-53. Their defense was pretty good in that game. Hopkinsville was just able to press them and turn the ball over. Wildcats had 27 or 28 turnovers in the game. And that's the key. Trigg's got a freshman point guard. He's got a lot of talent, but at the end of the day, he's a freshman. And so they're just trying to get through some growing pains there and hoping by the end of the season that they're past the growing pains. But at the end of the day, Trigg's got to score, and they got to come up with some defensive stops because, Caldwell County's got several options that can put the ball in the basket.
Scott, how long have you been covering the Trigg County teams now?
Let's see. I graduated in 1989. I actually helped out on the radio when I was a junior in high school for a game or two, and then I went to Murray and came home on the weekends and helped. But as far as really followed them, covering them, probably, let's see, this will be 30 years.
That's pretty good.
So,
did you see the picture I posted on Facebook this week of you and I side by side at the regional tournament some probably 30 years ago?
Well, I could tell you when that was. That was in 93, 92. Let's see. That was the year that UHA won the state tournament. So that would have been 93. I think. And the reason I know that is because in that picture, I am sitting next to Jeff Sisk. I'm behind a WHOP banner. I worked at WHOP in Hopkinsville for 8 months. And during the region tournament that year, I was usually the board op. And so I ran the games for them. They're UHA and Christian County and Hoptown games. But during the region tournament, I was scheduled to get off at 5 o'clock every day. And so I helped Jeff Sisk do the ball games on the radio. And so I guess that would have been, around 92 or 93 when that picture was made.
Looked like it was at Hopkinsville.
It was, yes. That's again, because I could get off work at Hopkinsville at 5 and then have time to get over to the gym and help out. And help through those games. That was the UHA team that had Darren Alloway and Marty Klein and the Flynn's and they were pretty good.
Yeah, that was Joey Randolph and I doing the WPKY broadcast that night, and those teams really, it doesn't seem like it's been almost 30 years ago, but when you look at the picture, it kind of does,
Oh yeah, the two things that stand out. I think I probably could have hula hooped at Cheerio, and I had the strong mullet game working then. So yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah, definitely
I don't have enough hair to constitute a full mullet these days, and Lord knows I don't know that I could get my right arm into that shirt I was wearing.
Well, if you look at things this year going into the postseason play, which we will get to eventually, we hope, second region looks wide open on the boys' side, and on the girls' side, maybe a couple of teams looking like they're probably favorites right now.
I think the boys' region is as wide open as it's been. I really do. And this year, I really don't even think that matchups. Normally you look at the matchups and say, well, these teams have to draw each other in the semifinals, and these teams have to lose in the district and whatever. I don't think that's the case this year. I really think that the region is as wide open as it's been. And, Lyon County, they beat UHA by 2. UHA lost to Madisonville by 3. Hopkinsville just got started going this week. Christian County is supposed to get going next week. You got Henderson County that nobody ever sees play because they play up in the northern part of the region and usually spend the first month of their season playing Indiana schools or third region schools. So you really don't know how good they are. We're waiting for Hopkins Central to play a game, see how good they are. So, it's I think it's as wide open this year as it's been, and I think it's a year that, especially if you're a 5th district or a 7th district team, it doesn't really matter who comes out of the 8th region this year or 8th district this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, by the time we get to the end of March, if things hold on, the end of March is going to be a very busy time.
Yeah, well, spring itself, that period from the middle of March to the middle of April is going to be a very busy month. It's going to be typically what October is for fall sports. October is when you get your region and your state golf done, you get your district, region, and state soccer, district, region, and state volleyball. I mean, everything, it kind of culminates in October. And I think middle of March to middle of April is going to be the same way, because that's when your basketball postseason is going to be. The KHSAA is meeting today. They're supposed to come up with a decision on what they're going to do with possibly wrestling and swimming, as far as when those postseasons are going to be. When that's about the time that baseball is going to start, last week of March. So yeah, it's gonna culminate, but hopefully that's the end game. That's the goal of the KHSAA. They want an end game this year. They want the season to culminate with a championship, and for the first time since the 20s, there was no Sweet 16 last year, and so they definitely don't want a repeat of that this year.
Well, coming up tonight, we've got Trigg County and Caldwell County, girls in Princeton, boys over in Cadiz. Scott, good luck to you on the broadcast, and we'll be trying to keep up with each other's games tonight.
Yes, we will, and I think it'll be two pretty good ones.
All right, as always, Scott, appreciate you coming on the show and sharing some information with us.
Thank you for having me, Todd.
That's Scott Brown of YourSportsEdge.com and WKDZ Radio. Again, Caldwell's boys will play at Trigg tonight. The Trigg girls will come to Princeton tonight and play at the Cab Gym, so a busy night of basketball with Caldwell County and Trigg County. Need to get to a timeout here on the show, but we'll be back with more after this on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
The Joint is serving up pulled pork, brisket, jumbo wings, ribs, chicken, and more, with all the fixings to go with it from their secret family recipes, all at The Joint in Eddyville.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast. Mostly cloudy skies expected through the day today, reaching a high of 53 degrees. An overnight low down to 30 tonight. Mostly sunny skies tomorrow, reaching a high of 43. Starting off the weekend with sunshine and 43. Sunday, a rain-snow mix, but then rain, a high of 51. Rain likely by Monday, a high of 53 degrees. Again, warming up to 53 degrees under mostly cloudy skies today.
There's good news in the fight against heart disease. Hello, I'm Jessica Reed Carr, a physician assistant who works alongside of Dr. Sanjay Bose. Did you know that Caldwell Medical Center has a cardiology clinic? Whether you need a stress test, echocardiogram, or just a follow-up, our highly trained team of heart health specialists have the experience to get you on the path to a healthier you right here at home. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 270-365-0350 or visit us at caldwellmedical.com.
If you really enjoy the stories you hear on Traveling the Bluegrass, we'd like to invite you to listen to the whole visit uncut. Just type youragedge.com into your browser. You'll find Traveling the Bluegrass uncut stories in long form, so you don't miss a thing. You'll also find lots of ag news and farm pictures from across the Commonwealth. You can also find all the Kentucky communities that Traveling the Bluegrass can be found. Remember to visit youragedge.com.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580 103.3 WPKY. Thanks to Scott Brown for coming on the show this morning. And we're going to just keep on talking high school basketball this morning as we welcome in Aaron Clayton from WCBL Radio and WCCK Radio, the voice of the Lions and Lady Lions. And Aaron, good morning, and thanks for coming on the show with us.
Well, good morning to you as well, Todd, and appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure.
How long have you been doing the Lion games now?
This will be my 10th season. I started in November of 2011, and when that time came, I was asked by Cindy Riley, who was our sales rep, lived over in Lyon County, said, "Do you want to call basketball?" Finally, and I always, as a kid, wanted to. I said, "Yes, tell me where I'm going." She said, "Lyon County," and I said, "You've got to be kidding me," because at that time I had no idea really anything much about Lyon County, and be the first to say it, I grew up in Murray and Marshall County for that matter as well. And my grandfather was from Land Between the Lakes. The only really thing I knew about Lyon County was it was at the top end of LBL. I knew they had a water park there, and I knew Ty Rogers played there. And at that time, that was pretty much it. But the moment I got taken over there, and that was early October to meet everybody, I got to meet some of the coaches and players. But more importantly that day, I got to meet Coach Jeff Doom, and we have struck up a lifelong friendship since that time because he was just so gracious bringing me into the community. And, of course, everybody knows Coach Doom that's anywhere around Lyon or Caldwell or Crittenden County. And he really brought me in and took me in one of his own, and I've just loved it ever since. And I mean it when I say it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It has become family. Whether we're winning every game or losing every game, it doesn't matter. The kids, the coaches, and the entire community have just made it a second home to me.
Well, you mentioned 10 years there, and it's funny how quickly 10 years can pass sometimes.
It really is. I mean, my life, it's completely evolved and changed in the last 10 years, not just calling Lyon County, but Lyon County has been the one constant for me, even, in my moves in my life and job changes and death and family and now moving on and engagement here and buying a new house in North Marshall to be closer to Eddyville, Paducah, Benton. But again, I've always, in the back of my mind, everything I've done, I've kept kind of Lyon County in the back of my mind. I always know I've had that there as kind of my escape and my place, my safe haven to fall back into. So it's been through a lot of ups and downs in the last 10 years, Todd, and they've always been there to support me, as has my family and friends around Marshall County and Callaway County. But they were always there because that's family. These people in Lyon County didn't have to be there, but they were, and it's meant the world to me.
And big season going on for the Lyon County boys right now, and Lyon County's girls also right in the mix there in the 5th District. So hopes are pretty high in Lyon County right now.
They really are. Ladies first, as always. Coach Doom doing a fantastic job with the girls this year with a very limited roster. And a lot of people are dealing with that. Of course, Lyon County, the second smallest school really in the region, public schools behind Dawson Springs being the smallest. But Lyon County brings back 6 of their 7 rotational players from last year. The only one we do not have is Katherine Brown. And Katherine, of course, is the sister of the late Cullen Brown. And we miss Cullen each and every day. But Katherine is going to focus more on golf, which, of course, was her brother's sport as well, and we completely understand that. So we lost Katherine. We wish her the best of luck. But we do bring back 6 players that played last year, all started some minutes, in Rose Smith, the leading scorer from last year, and Callista Collins, leading rebounder from last year, and then good guard play from Hadley Butler and Kentavia Matthews, and then a great three-point shooter in Grayson Wynn, and then Ella Defew, a good forward off the bench. And then we bring in new players this year, one young lady that has really stepped up. And you'll know the last name because of her brother who's doing okay for the boys team, and her name is Lily Perry, and that is the younger sister of Travis Perry. But Lily has really come in and done a great job at the guard position as well. 3-2 to start. Been competitive in all 5 games we played. The 2 losses have been what has been our Achilles heel the last couple of years, and it seems to go in ebbs and flows against Crittenden County. In my opinion, that's become our biggest rivalry over the last decade since Coach Doom has taken over at the helm 12 years ago. We played them in multiple district championships and all-A championship games. We'll win a few years in a row, and then they'll take their turn, and they really have over the last few years. They've won now 5 in a row against us, so we're trying to snap that string. We lost every game last year, actually 6 when you count this all-A championship game this past weekend. But a very good game, a game that Lyon County led the majority of, but Nala Woodward had a fantastic game against us, 26 points and 12 boards, and they nipped us by 5 to go to the all-A tournament. Lyon have won 2 of the last 3, and before that, Crittenden had beaten Lyon in 2017. So, again, if one doesn't win it, it seems like the other one always does, and that's not to discredit the other 2 teams in our district, Livingston Central and Trigg County. Trigg County, they've been the dominant team the last 2 years. They've won the district back-to-back years. They're not even making the district tournament for a decade and not winning the district tournament for nearly 30 years. They won a game in the region tournament last year, so we can't discount Trigg County either. And Livingston's a very, very young team. Well, they got an all-region player in Lauren Ring. They got a bunch of 7th graders, 8th graders, and freshmen that are coming up to the ranks. So I think District 5 basketball will be fun to watch for a very long time. But yeah, Lyon County, very good team, very physical team down low with Callista Collins and Rose Smith, and then just scrappy defensively with Kentavia Matthews and Hadley Butler. And then, as we said, you got Grayson Wynn, Ella Defew, Lily Perry trying to pick up some points down low. This is a team that's always been good with defense. We're just trying to find our offensive rhythm, and when we do, I think we can compete not only for a district title, but also hopefully make a run in the region title. There's a lot of parity, it seems, this year in the girls' second region title.
Well, and on the boys' side, the All-A Classic Championship is a big thing, but perhaps even a bigger moment for Lyon County basketball, that win over University Heights. I mean, that's always kind of special.
That's beyond special, as you well know. And the previous 40 years, Todd, since UHA really started their dominance back in the 1980s, but even going back to 1981, Lyon County had only won 3 games against UHA in 40 years, and that was on a pretty regular schedule, whether it been in the All-A Classic or a regular season meeting. They meant a lot, and it's not to say that Lyon County wasn't close in quite a few of those games. They lost in overtime in All-A championships in 90 and 92, and they've had some blowouts too, but even Ty Rogers never could get over that hump, and great teams back in 90 and 91 with Keith Matchin and Joe Crady and Kevin Hunsinger and Sutton and all those guys couldn't get over the hump with UHA. And now Keith Matchin being an assistant coach, I mean, he was nearly in tears when that game came to an end. We saw that we had won that game 79-77, and it really lived up to the billing. Sometimes you hype those games up at Lyon County with the talent they have this year, UHA, the talent they have every year, and it was not a down UHA team. It's a UHA team that can still compete for a region championship with 4 senior guards returning from last year's team that won the All-A region and won a lot of games. But finally to get that win, it was just unbelievable. 12 years in the making. We had not beaten UHA since 2009. We hadn't won the All-A regional since 2009. It was our 4th region title. We still had to get through Caldwell County. We knew we couldn't take it for granted, but just that huge, huge weight off our shoulders to beat UHA, led that game throughout, and then held on late. The 3 at the buzzer, no good by KJ Crump to win 79-77 after Nick Whalen had a layup on a backdoor cut from Travis Perry to win the game. Just jubilation. Even I wish we could have had a full capacity crowd. Even with the 15% we had in there, it was electric at Jason White Gym in Eddyville to finally get that win and then to go on and beat Caldwell County like we did in the championship game. And Caldwell's not a bad team at all. And I know you all cover Caldwell, and I really, really like what Coach Shukahiko's doing with that team this year. I love watching Jabrion Spikes play and Trip Branch play. Those 2 are fantastic. But then you got a lot of great young guys, the Whittington brothers coming up. And Giovante Riley had a good game against us as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch Lyon and Caldwell all year, but to finally win that championship was just an amazing feeling. And for us small schools like a Lyon or a Caldwell County, that's what we look for a lot of years, is to win that All-A championship and to get to go to a state tournament. So I'm looking forward to Richmond. It'll be sometime in the week, February the 15th and the 21st. We don't know the date yet, and we don't even really know the opponent yet. It's most likely they're going to be Kentucky Country Day or Louisville Collegiate, but we'll be ready. I don't care who we play. When we get up there, we're going to look to make a run. We're not just going up there just to play a game and be happy that we were there. We're going up there to win the whole thing, and I believe we got the talent to do it, and there's no doubt about that as we'll talk about the talent, because this team right here is really an unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime type team for Lyon County.
Aaron, I need to get to a break on the show. Can you hang around and talk with us some more?
I will.
All right, that's good. We're going to get to a break on the Sideline Report. Back with more after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast. Mostly cloudy skies expected through the day today, reaching a high of 53 degrees. An overnight low down to 30 tonight. Mostly sunny skies tomorrow, reaching a high of 43. Starting off the weekend with sunshine and 43. Sunday, a rain-snow mix, but then rain, a high of 51. Rain likely by Monday, a high of 53 degrees. Again, warming up to 53 degrees under mostly cloudy skies today.
Trice Hughes wants your vehicle to last as long as possible. It's getting cooler, and that brings on the yellow light on your dash. Tire pressure. When the temperature drops, so does your tire pressure. This can cause a warning. Stop by Trice Hughes, and they'll check your tires and get rid of that stubborn light.
Trice Hughes is here for you and any questions you may have about your vehicle. Buy your next vehicle from the home team. Find them on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or at tricehughes.com.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Imagine if there were a place you could go to buy gift certificates to some of the best businesses in town. Now, imagine all those great gift certificates priced 30%, 35%, 40%, and at times over 60% or more off retail every day of the week. The Loyal Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com.
We are back on the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks to the voice of the Lions, Aaron Clayton, for hanging with us during the commercial break. And Aaron, we were talking about the All-A Classic and going to the state tournament. But if you look to the end of the season, right now, Lyon County's boys ranked number 1 in the second region, going to be right there in the mix for the end of the year KHSAA championship too.
Yes, which is what I said before the break, a once in a lifetime. That was not hyperbole. I'm not blowing smoke. That's the truth. Lyon County's not made the region finals, just the championship game in 30 years. It was 1990 and 1991, went back-to-back years. Only made the finals 5 times in nearly 75 years of existence, and we have not won the title since 1951. So it'd be 70 years since we won a region championship, which is, people think, well, man, that's just bad luck or bad team. No. You're in the region. There's no classification. You're in KHSAA basketball, and you're playing against Hopkinsville, Henderson County, UHA, Christian County, and Madisonville every year. You're lucky if one of those teams has a bad year, but for all 5 to be down in a school of 225 kids, to be able to beat all 5 of those schools, it seems impossible. So for it to finally be a possibility this year, it's a buzz like I had not seen it around Eddyville, and we've got the talent to do it. Everybody knows about Travis Perry, right now leading scorer. A year ago in the state point-wise, second on average per game. Right now he's up near 1,700 career points, and he's just 2 weeks into his freshman season, which is an unbelievable stat to believe. I mean, the numbers are there for him to have a historic career like nobody's ever seen in this region. I mean, I'm not saying it to be saying it. I mean, if he matches what he's been doing the last couple of years, King Kelly Coleman's name will be mentioned around Lyon County because the record could possibly fall. He is on that pace right now to set the all-time scoring record in the history of Kentucky high school basketball. If he has a healthy and plays a respectable 25 to 30 games per year over his next 4 years, including this season, he can do it, and he's on pace to do it. Same thing for three-point shooting. Could set a state record on that. He's already made nearly 200 threes in his career. Records that Ty Rogers set. He's looking at eyeballing to knock down in the next couple of years. Of course, Ty, still a top-town leading scorer all time in the state with 3,300 points and top 3 in threes made and threes attempted. But he could pass those records. And you think, well, if you had that one player, you can make an amazing run. But Travis is far from being the only man on the team. You got Jackson Shoulders, who's a Division I baseball prospect. He's a double-double every night, nearing 18 points and 12 boards a game. His younger brother, Brady Shoulders, who was a freshman like Travis, has sprouted up from about 5'7" a year ago to about 6'3" now. Is a fantastic shooting guard. He's actually leading the team in three-point shooting. He's ahead of Travis. Then you got a fantastic point guard and freshman Jack Reddick, 6-foot guard that is just so feisty on defense. Really was one of the keys defensively against Caldwell County in the All-A championship. Nick Whalen, another big forward off the bench, about 6'1", 6'2", good baseball player. Long, lanky guard. It's a great three-point shooter. And Gunnar Bingham, who is back from last year. Luke Gilbert, who is also another forward off the bench, plus a slew of young guys coming up to the ranks. But those 7 rotational players right there, it's an unbelievable balance like we haven't seen probably in 30 years since that run with Coach Kirk Childs in 1990 and 1991. Yes, the rankings are great, but they're only on paper. But we have backed it up the first couple of weeks of the season. Beat a very good Webster team by double digits, controlled the game against UHA in the All-A tournament. I've beaten Crittenden by 20. I've beaten Caldwell by 30 on a couple of occasions. I've beaten, CCA by nearly 60, averaging over 80 points a game right now. Busy week coming up. I mean, we will have 2 very good tests to see where we are the next couple of nights against Graves County for the first time in 30 years. We never played Graves in Eddyville, but they'll come to Eddyville tomorrow night, and they've got 2 young men that have moved in from Illinois that are fantastic players that should be playing their first game with Graves County tomorrow night. Just got eligible. And they're going to be very talented. And then Saturday going back to Callaway County, a team that just beat Marshall County last week. And so that's going to be tough. You're hosting Henderson County at home for the first time ever, and only the 8th game ever against Henderson County next week. So we're not backing down in the schedule we play. We know if we want to have a legitimate shot to make a run for that second region championship, we got to play the best to be the best, as Ric Flair would say. So we have to go out there and do it, and I believe we will. Coach Ryan Perry has a great team and a great group of staff around him to get this job done, and we know it's one thing to say, another thing to do it. We finally got to the region semifinals last year and that was an amazing accomplishment. But that's still 2 wins away from the big title that we want. And, again, we've not been to the finals in 30 years. And for that matter, last year was only the 11th time we got past the first round in 75 years of existence. So we do hope that we are able to accomplish the goal, get to the state tournament, have a big run in the All-A-State tournament. But the big goal is always to win that second region championship, and we have a legitimate shot to do it.
Well, and the schedule is going to keep you busy the next few days. Girls at home tonight against McLean County, and then you mentioned the Graves County game for the boys tomorrow night, and I just found out about 20 minutes ago that's now homecoming.
Yeah, we're just gonna try to get it all in. I mean, that just came across the wire as well. And tonight, I hope you tune in to my good friend Caleb King, because not only that, I still do Murray State, PA, even though I'm living in North Marshall now. They've been off a few weeks, but I will be with Murray State University tonight for their doubleheader at home against Jacksonville State. So I'm grateful to Caleb King, who he's the first time he's had to fill in for me yet this year, but he'll help me out tonight. I'll be with the boys tomorrow night against Graves, and then I'll be with the girls at home against Tillman Saturday, and then we'll meet in Murray as I'll go back to Murray State Saturday night, and he will do the game for me Saturday at Callaway County. So, yes, it's quite wild just to be able to keep up with everything. But trust me, Todd, I'd rather be doing this than sitting at the house. So I'm grateful for whatever game I can get.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just glad to be playing games.
Absolutely.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, Princeton, Kentucky. Talking this morning with Aaron Clayton, the radio voice of the Lyon County Lions and Lady Lions. And Aaron, it's been an interesting season so far. One of the biggest things from your Sports Edge standpoint and WPKY radio is just trying to keep up with those schedules this year, because you never know from day to day how things are going to change or where you might be headed.
Yeah, COVID has reared its ugly head for far too long, but I credit the administrators and the schools and the coaching staffs and players for doing their part, and for the community members and media members doing their part to be able to even have these games. So I've said the KHSAA protocol each and every game that they're doing their part. We need to do ours, so please do. When you get to the game, follow the guidelines. Wear your mask, social distance to the best of your ability. You know, even when you go home, you can take that mask off, but while you're there at that game so the young men and women can play, just do it. Follow the rules. I know it's a hindrance. I know it's an inconvenience, but we'll get back to normal before too awfully long. But to get through this season, which these young men and women deserve, we need to just do this while we can and be grateful, because there's a lot of teams that, while Lyon County, knock on wood and praise the Lord, have been lucky, they've been able to get in about what they should have in the first couple of weeks of the season. But there are some teams, like the Hopkinsville schools, Hoptown Christian County, they're just getting started, only have a game in, or Henderson County got started late, or we could be in Jefferson County, for example, and they've not even started playing yet. They've at least got practice going, but they have not even started playing yet, won't until February the 1st. So just be grateful that we get these games, because one positive case, your team's gone for 2 weeks. One positive case that you came in contact with, your team's out for 2 weeks. So take it while you get it and really enjoy it.
Appreciate you coming on the show this morning. Just one more question. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills.
All right.
Why not? You know, I'm an underdog guy. I always have. Called for the small school in Lyon County. If they made it this far, I think Kansas City right now, iffy with Mahomes. I think they snuck by last week against the Browns. And nothing against Green Bay or Tampa Bay. Green Bay seems to always fall apart in the NFC Championship game for the most part. Nothing against it to my fiance, my lovely fiance Julie, who's listening. She's a big Green Bay fan, but I think Tampa Bay and Buffalo get there. But I don't know if Tom can do it when the lights are on bright without Belichick by his side. So I think Buffalo finally finds the way to win it, and Tampa Bay can at least say they're the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium. So that's my pick, is Tampa Bay and Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that'll be interesting, because the narrative has kind of been Green Bay and Kansas City all year. So
yeah, and that was the first Super Bowl 55 years ago. And this year's was supposed to be in L.A., and that's where it would have been. But of course, with the pandemic and SoFi Stadium not getting built like it should, that didn't happen. It almost was exactly like it was 55 years ago in L.A., Green Bay, Kansas City. But I'm a guy that goes against the grain. So I'm rooting for Tampa Bay and Buffalo. So.
Well, I should see you Friday night. Again, schedules always change, so I'm never really sure exactly where I'm going, but I'm scheduled right now to be at Lyon County for the Graves County game Friday, so we'll see you then.
Sounds great, Todd. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
That is Aaron Clayton, the radio voice of the Lyon County Lions and Lady Lions for WCBL and WCCK Radio in Benton. Appreciate him coming on the show. Also, thanks to Scott Brown of YourSportsEdge.com and WKDZ Radio for coming on earlier. Again, locally, it's Caldwell and Trigg County night. Caldwell County's girls will host the Lady Wildcats out at the Cab Gym tonight. You can hear the game right here on WPKY and watch live and for free on our video stream at WPKYonline.com. And, of course, WKDZ will handle the radio broadcast tonight for the boys' game, the Caldwell County Tigers over at Trigg County tonight. So a busy night here in Princeton and Cadiz for high school basketball. That's going to wrap up the Sideline Report for today. Thanks for listening. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. This is the Sideline Report on WPKY.
WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden's focus on his first full day in office is coronavirus response. He'll announce a new federal strategy for more vaccinations, testing, and treatment, and keeping schools open. He's already signed 17 executive actions and orders yesterday, a few hours after being sworn in.
He stopped construction of the border